It's time to make your great escape, and heaven knows you need a break. Forget your duties, forget your cares. It's good to get away.
Hello and welcome to Augusta Outdoors. This week we're going to be learning a little bit more about a place that's actually very, very close to home, but it's also sort of a wilderness. It's been called Augusta's Okefenokee, and most of us know it as Phinizy Swamp. But before we get to what's out there today, we're going to learn a little bit about the history of this piece of real estate that has actually played a big role in shaping Augusta over the last few hundred years. One of the people we're going to talk with is Abe Wilson, and he is a student at GRU, and we're looking forward to talking with him. Abe, how are you?
Doing well. How are you this morning?
Rob Pavey, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Thank you for talking with us.
Happy to take the time.
And so tell us a little bit about how you got interested in Phinizy Swamp and some of the things you've learned after studying this place for 3 months.
Well, Phinizy Swamp is not what we see today. It was before now a much larger area, most of the south side of what we think of Richmond County along the river. It has played a role in the community from the beginning and still continues to play a role today.
And when you say it used to be much larger, what happened to it? Was it bulldozed or logged out? Or?
At different times it was logged out, it was bulldozed, it was filled in, roads and railroad tracks were built through there. They were modified by mills to make lakes for motive power for the mills.
Sure.
After that went out of style with electricity, many of those ponds were turned into swimming ponds.
Okay. And what about, there was a particular era, I guess in the 20s and 30s, when the government was doing a lot of projects to put people back to work. Did they
The
play a role?
WPA filled in the south side of Augusta, the north side of what would have been Phinizy Swamp, creating several roadways and neighborhoods through the area, shrinking the size of Phinizy Swamp in the process, much smaller than what it had previously been.
Okay. And Abe, I understand also there were some interesting historical figures that were linked somehow to Phinizy Swamp. Tell me about that.
Well, Eli Whitney built what it has been purported to be his very first gin mill on the site that was powered by water. The new process. The Eli Whitney.
The cotton gin
changed the course of the country.
agriculture.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Now, whether or not it was the very first is up for a lot of debate.
Okay.
That it was one of the first, without question. It was set up, it was running, but never actually turned much into production. It never became one of the major sites like many of his other ones did. And why that is, I cannot or have not yet been able to find out.
Is that a mystery lost in time?
It is sort of a mystery lost in time right now.
Okay.
When he toured through a couple of years later, he had wrote to his friend, or his business partner, Phineas Miller, that to sell it, essentially to sell it for what you can get for it, because it had all gone to pot.
When we say to sell it, that's the Phinizy Swamp?
That's the Phinizy Swamp site, what became known as the Phinizy Mill later. The Phinizy Swamp has been a constantly renegotiated piece of land over how it will be used, who will be using it, and for what.
Okay.
It's really quite fascinating.
It certainly is. Okay. Well, thank you very, very much for sharing some of the things that you've learned about this place.
I'd be happy to.
Wonderful. I hope you enjoyed today's show, and if you liked what you saw, be sure to check us out on YouTube and subscribe if you'd like to be advised when new videos come out, and also please check us out on AugustaChronicle.com.